You don't sign up for this because you want to be a hero. Heroes get parades. Heroes get their names carved into marble in the light of day. You're looking for something else. You are looking for the truth that exists in the basement of the world. They tell you it's about patriotism. They tell you it's about the thin gray line between civilization and chaos. But as you sit in a windowless room in Virginia, staring at a man whose suit costs more than your childhood home, you realize the truth is much colder. This isn't a movie. There is no swelling orchestral music. There is only the hum of the air conditioner and the scratch of a pen on a non-disclosure agreement. You are about to disappear. Not because you are dying, but because you are becoming a ghost. From this moment on, your life is no longer a series of choices. It is a series of ranks. And each rank will take a little more of you until there is nothing left but the mission. Level 1, the asset. It starts with a favor. You aren't even in yet. You're just a person of interest with a specific set of skills or a specific location. You're the asset. In the internal memos, they call you a resource. In private, they call you a useful idiot. You think you're a spy. You feel the rush of adrenaline when a man in a tan jacket meets you in a crowded cafe and asks you to leave a USB drive in a dead drop. You think you're saving the world. You're not. You're a sensor. You are a human tripwire designed to see if the enemy is watching. If you get caught, the man in the tan jacket doesn't know you. He's never seen you. You'll rot in a foreign prison while the agency deletes your file. You realize the first rule of Black Ops. The smaller you are, the more expendable you become. You spend your nights in cheap motels, waiting for a burner phone to vibrate. You're paid in cash that you can't deposit. You lose your friends because you can't tell them where you've been. You lose your partner because, "I was working," isn't enough of an explanation for why you have a bruised rib and a 1,000-yard stare. The isolation feels like a secret club at first. Then it just feels like isolation. You're at the bottom of the food chain, eating the scraps of intelligence, hoping for a promotion into the real world. You haven't realized yet that the real world is gone. Level 2, the operator. You survived the asset phase. You didn't talk, you didn't flake, and you proved you can take orders without asking why. Now you're an operator. You've been through the farm. You've learned how to kill a man with a pen, how to drive a car through a wall, and how to lie to a polygraph until the machine believes you. This is the adrenaline phase. This is the rush. You are the blunt instrument the agency swings when diplomacy fails. You aren't watching doors anymore, you're kicking them down. You're in the back of a C-130 transport plane, flying over a country that doesn't officially exist on your map. You learn the clinical noir of the job. You see a target through a night vision lens. They aren't a person with a family or a history. They are a high-value target. They are a problem that needs to be resolved. You pull the trigger and the problem goes away. The rationalization begins here. You tell yourself that the world is a dark place and someone has to do the dirty work. You tell yourself that for every wet work job you complete, 1,000 civilians sleep safely. It's a comfortable lie. It allows you to eat steak after cleaning blood off your boots. You start to enjoy the power. You are a god in a world of mortals, moving through the shadows, untouchable and unseen. But gods are often lonely. And the agency doesn't want a god. They want a tool. Level 3, the specialist. You've outgrown the simple violence of the operator. Anyone can pull a trigger. But not everyone can bypass a biometric lock in under 60 seconds while a guard patrol is 30 feet away. Not everyone can interrogate a prisoner for 72 hours without leaving a single bruise. You are now a specialist. You have a niche. Maybe you're the black bag guy, the one who breaks into embassies to plant bugs. Maybe you're the technical services expert, turning ordinary objects into deadly tools. You stop seeing the world in terms of people and start seeing it in terms of systems. A building isn't a building, it's a series of ingress points, alarm sensors, and dead zones. A human being isn't a person. They are a biological machine with pressure points and psychological triggers. You become obsessed with the how. You spend 18 hours a day studying unpatched security flaws and foreign power grids. You live in a basement in a black site, surrounded by monitors and wires. The human cost becomes an abstraction. You don't see the faces of the people whose lives you ruin. You just see the data. You see the lateral movement of your virus through a hospital's network. You see the packet capture of a politician's private messages. You've reached a level of technical mastery that makes you feel invincible. But the more you know about the system, the more you realize how easily the system can crush you. You aren't the hunter anymore. You're the software. And software can be deleted. Level 4, the handler. Your knees are shot. Your back is a map of scars. You can't go into the field anymore, but your brain is too valuable to let go. So they give you a desk. They give you a title, case officer. But everyone knows what you really are. You're a handler. Now the cycle is complete. You are the man in the tan jacket from level 1. You sit in the air-conditioned office and recruit the useful idiots. You watch the operators on a satellite feed, breathing heavily as they enter a compound. You see the specialists send you reports on how they've crippled a small nation's economy. This is where the true corruption sets in. From this height you see the big picture. You realize that the greater good you fought for as an operator was actually just a move on a geopolitical chessboard. You realize that you've sacrificed dozens of lives to lower the price of oil or to keep a puppet dictator in power. You lose your empathy. You have to. You can't send a 24-year-old kid to his death if you think of him as a person. So you think of him as a unit. You calculate the acceptable loss. You write the burn notice for the agent who got too messy. You realize that the agency isn't a family. It's an engine. And engines need fuel. You are the one who decides who gets poured into the tank. You've traded your soul for a pension and a parking spot near the elevator. Level 5, the ghost. You've seen too much. You know where the bodies are buried because you're the one who ordered the holes to be dug. You know the 0 days in the world's most secure systems. You know the names of the politicians who are on the agency's payroll. And that makes you the most dangerous thing in the world. A liability. You are now the ghost. You've been retired, but in the Black Ops world, retirement isn't a gold watch and a beach house. It's a burn notice. Your records are wiped. Your accounts are frozen. Your friends at the agency stop answering your calls. The Ouroboros has come for you. The very operators you trained are now being sent to find you. The specialists you managed are now tracking your egress filtering and your cold wallets. You are living in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with a shotgun under your bed and a bug-out bag by the door. You spend your days looking for peace, but peace is the one thing you never learned how to find. You look at the news and you see the chaos you helped create. You see the collateral damage of the wars you started. You realize that you didn't save the world. You just broke it in a way that only you can see. You are a master of tradecraft, but there is no one left to trade with. You are a ghost haunting a world that doesn't believe in you. You realize the final haunting irony. You spent your whole life trying to be the most important person in the room, only to end up as a man who doesn't exist. Your life wasn't a movie. There were no credits. There was no the end. There is only the silence of the woods or the anonymity of a crowded city where no one knows your name. The CIA Black Ops isn't a career. It's a slow-motion car crash of the soul. You start with curiosity, you move to adrenaline, you transition to power, and you end with a quiet, cold regret. You've learned everything there is to know about the dark, only to realize that the dark is where you'll stay. They say the truth will set you free. But in this world, the truth is just another secret you have to take to the grave. And as you sit there, waiting for the sound of a footstep that shouldn't be there, you realize that the grave is the only place where the burn notice can't find you.